Hi everyone, it's the Paisley Turtle, and I am back today with a review of the Vera Bradley Campus Tote in the pattern Paisley meets Plaid. This video was requested by American Girl JN. I've already reviewed the other two items that I got in my fall 2012 campus collection. I never can remember. I think that's what it's called, haul. And that was the Weekender and the smartphone wristlet, the new wristlet. So if you'd like to watch those, please go back and check those two videos out. And I wanted to actually carry this item for, a significant, at least a nice full day before I did a review on it so that I could truly give impressions. So I was able to do that on Wednesday. I went to lunch and shopping with a couple of friends. And so I got the opportunity to have it in a restaurant, hang it on a chair, carry it in a buggy, carry it around, I carry a lot in my purse and carry it around like all day and see how comfortable it was and things like that. And I will, as I'm going over features, I will mention what my impressions were of those things. I'll just go over the basic shape of the bag. It's kind of it's like a trapezoid shape actually. And then the top border right here is like a cute little sweetheart neckline, which I love. And it's got a pocket on each end, and the pocket actually goes all the way around to the other side of the bag, so it's completely on the end, and it's a really good size, and I'll get a little more detail. And then there's the border, which I love because it's very similar to that main fabric of Paisley meets Plaid, but instead of plaid in the background, it's got really cute diagonal stripes, so I like that. And then right here, something I've noticed on like the new I think it's called the Super Smart Wristlet. I talked about that in another review where I did the phone wristlet, comparing the two. The new wristlet has these two border kind of stripes, and they're just in the fabric. I didn't know that. I hadn't really fondled this tote that much, and noticed that it even had these, and they're not like three-dimensional. They're just woven into the fabric. And then that's got that same border across the top of the pockets. And then I'll go over the inside. First, I'll start with the handles. It's got the rolled handles. They're very pliable. This is one thing I was worried about. I've never had a Vera Bradley bag with the rolled handles before. I have, I don't have bad posture, but my shoulders are kind of slanted down. And so bags slip off of them easily. I had that trouble a couple of times, but that's not the fault of the bag. It's just my shoulders. And so I just kind of figured out where exactly on my shoulder I needed to place this bag to carry it properly. And to be honest, when you're, probably when you have like a long sleeve shirt on, it probably won't be as bad. I had a dress, a little sundress that had little cap sleeves on, and it was very thin material. And so there wasn't really anything for it to grip onto. It was pretty much like it was on my skin. And when I carried it yesterday to go to a friend's house for dinner, I was wearing a sleeveless shirt and, it didn't really have anything to rest on. So I think that, once we get into a little cooler weather, the rolled handles won't be as difficult for me to carry. It does kind of change my opinion of those bags because I'll be a little more careful about, I probably won't buy another brightly colored summer bag. So that's something to think about. If you're not sure about the rolled handles, if you order online a lot, I would encourage you to find a local retailer or a friend who has a bag with rolled handles and carry that. It's got some kind of tubing inside, and then it's just sewn around them, and they're pretty sturdy. I didn't have any trouble, and they're secured on there very nicely. And I do always pay attention to that because I carry a lot in bags, and I've neckline top. It's got the nice little rolled hem border around it, which I love that. And I like the shape. It gives you plenty of room for your arm. It's got a nice strap drop anyway. I've mentioned before I'm plus size, so I know that we tend to focus more on strap drop than a smaller size would, but I didn't have any trouble with this, and I don't think I would have had any trouble even if it had been flat across the top. The reason I say that is on Wednesday I had a magazine with me just in case I got to lunch early, and it was actually a catalog, and it stuck up out of the bag, pretty good size, and it was a big book, and I didn't have any trouble carrying this bag with that book even sticking up out of there, so it was great. On each end there's a pocket, and it starts about a third of the way down the bag, and it goes all the way to the bottom of the bag. And I mean, it's humongous. It's really big. And let me see if I can get in there a little better. It's really big. When I didn't feel like getting my cell phone in and out, in and out, in and out of the smartphone wristlet, I would just throw it in this pocket. Normally what I do is I have a little hook that on my keychain, and I just stick my keys down in here, but there was still plenty of room for my cell phone, my iPhone. I have it with a Vera Bradley case on it, and if I'd had an OtterBox on it, there would have still been plenty of room. Those pockets are huge. So I don't really carry anything in this pocket all the time. The pocket is quilted, completely quilted, except for this border at the top. This is not quilted, and there's not a lot of padding in this, and I'm curious as to why they didn't even put any kind of stabilizer in there. The border up here isn't quilted either, the little sweetheart neckline border, but it does have a nice thick stabilizer. In another video I said it felt like thin cardboard, and when I thought about that, because I do sew and quilt, I was like, it's not cardboard, it's a really thick stabilizer. And there is that in here, but not on the top of the pocket. So that's one thing that I would say is a negative, because I worry over time that that's just going to get to look crumpled, because there's no stabilization in it. It does on the end, if you can see, have these two cute little pleats, and that is a detail that I love. They're just really cute, and I think they add a lot of, just a cute little punch to the bag. It's just really cute, and it's kind of rounded on each end. The pocket, where the pocket is and that little pleat is, it's kind of rounded, and I'm sure the pleat adds to that. On this end, I have got my 2 packs of gum and the rest of my Harry and David unsalted roasted almonds from Starbucks. That was my snack when everybody stopped at Starbucks. And then the next thing, I think that's everything about the outside. The next thing I'll talk about is the snap. As you can see, it is a snap closure, and there is a little bit of opening. I'll lean it over. It's not huge. Nothing can, unless you're carrying itty bitty tiny stuff inside your bag, nothing's going to fall out. The thing I will say is this is a very, very strong magnet. So that will also keep your things secure. Not as secure as a zipper, obviously, but very secure. Do not pull on the fabric of your bag if you have a strong magnet. That will just weaken the fabric and it will eventually tear. So what you need to do is get your hand in there and work them apart slightly with your finger. Get right on that, or even if you have fingernails, use your fingernail to get between it and loosen it. If you saw that, I'm doing this one-handed, so that doesn't help. But it is a very strong magnet, and you can hear it kind of pop. Inside the bag, there are just 2 slip pockets, one on either side. I'll go into more depth on those in just a second. This is what I typically carry in a bag. I've had Vera's in the past, and they're great because they have, the 6 pockets on the inside, and they're very organizational. I used to use those. My first Vera Bradley was a Vera, and I utilized those pockets, but I'm very organized. I have a lot of anxiety, and I actually do have OCD. Clinical OCD, not just, I'm OCD. I have a clinical diagnosis of OCD. And so I am very organized, and some would call me anal, and that's fine. But I do keep everything very in its place. So I've been doing that with bags since I quit using Vera's for a couple of years. And I got to where I did this in all my bags. Even when I switched back to my Vera, I didn't really use all the pockets anymore. I actually just used a couple. So this is pretty much what I carry in most of my bags. I have this bag that I love. It's just from Target. And it's my, as organized like Jen on YouTube would say, it's my walking pharmacy. It's all the junk that's not makeup that I need. I have a hard sunglass case for big sunglasses in there, which is pretty large. My little mini totes umbrella, which I just got at Target a couple of weeks ago on clearance for like $3. Perfect for I don't carry that in there all the time, but if it looks like it might rain or I check the weather and it might rain, I just throw that in there. That's why it's little. My smartphone wristlet, which is my wallet. I think this is the Mirrored Cosmetic Rosy Posies. This has got my makeup in it. And then I've got the mini kiss lock, and this holds my earbuds all around a little organizer cord keeper. At home, I wear V-Moda over-ear headphones because I don't want to damage my ears. So, but, you know, you look kind of goofy just walking around, hanging out, chilling out at, you know, Starbucks with your head big ol' honking V-Modas on. So I carry these for times like that. Or if I'm anxious, that's one of my coping mechanisms, is to put my headphones on and play a game or listen to music on my phone. So I always have those with me. And then we'll talk about the slip. Of course, sorry, the interior fabric is the cute pink tone-on-tone plaid, which I love. The pocket starts about, it starts the exact same place as the exterior pocket. It's about a third of the way down in the bag, and then it goes all the way to the bottom. It's a very roomy pocket. It's not as roomy as the exterior pockets, but it's very roomy. Inside this one, I keep gift cards and anything. Like I got this, I got a new camera the other day, and he had written down some information for me, and so like I just threw that in there until I have time to look at my notebook. My pen and pencil, I'm not going to take those out because they're looped on there. Then here's the Vera Bradley tag. Made in China, yes, people. I'm not even going to rant about that because I don't have a rant about it. If you don't want to buy stuff that's made in China, don't buy stuff made in China. Don't buy it and then complain that it's made in China. That's just my personal opinion. This pocket is exactly the same. Starts about a third of the way down. It goes all the way to the bottom of the bag. And then I just have this one little thing which holds feminine products in it. And that's it. Very roomy. I had all of this in there, and there was still plenty of room. I am going to, while I'm talking, I'll put everything back, and then I'm going to show you something I mentioned in my last video. And if you want any of the products that I've shown, reviewed, feel free to just comment and let me know what you'd like to see. My overall impression, I'll talk about that while I'm packing the bag back up. I like the tote. I mean, you know, it's not their fault that I have weird shoulders, and, you know, I mean, like I said, I think that having more clothing on would probably help that. I like the tote. I try not to buy more than one of the same things, so I probably won't own another one. Will I own another bag in Paisley meets Plaid? Yes. Another Campus Tote? Probably not, because I don't typically buy the same bag. Eventually I will buy another Vera, and that's probably the only bag I'll ever have a double of. I like to have each pattern have a different handbag, you know, so that they're not all the same and I'm just not carrying carbon copies around. But I like it. The rolled handles are nice. They're cushioned and they feel good. I feel like the quality construction of this is really nice. The only complaint I had was there was no stabilizer in this border fabric. But everything else feels really good. It looks nice. It holds its shape well when it's, you know, even when I didn't have it just super full. I mean, I only had a couple things in the bottom. It held its shape well. So, I mean, I would recommend this. If you don't like a zip top, you know, or you want a zip top, you're not fond of a snap, just check this one out. But I do encourage you about the rolled handles. If you've not had a bag with this, try to find a local retailer or a friend that has a bag with rolled handles and just put it on your shoulder and see how it feels, because it is different than the others. The last thing I'm going to show you is, I mentioned this in my smartphone wristlet review, is what I do with the smartphone wristlet. I actually, when I'm shopping, I take this, loop it around. Oops, sorry about that. Loop it around. I'm running out of time, so I got 15 minutes. So if this gets fast forwarded or cut out, you'll know why. Okay, well, I'm over, so something's going to get cut out, so just ignore that. Probably it will be me snapping this. But anyway, this is how I do this in a very busy area. Like if you go to a fair, a mall, whatever, you can always loop your wristlet around the inside of your bag. Now, it does pull on your bag when it's just sitting down, but when it's hanging, you can't even really see it if your wristlet matches your bag. And if they tried to take your wallet, then you would feel them tugging on your bag. So there's that information. That's not something I do all the time. It's just when I feel like, you know, like in a very busy place, an airport, a fair. I don't really go to places like that very often. But I have done it at the mall. So that's my review. If you have any questions or comments or any questions about anything I carry in my bag, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe above and comment below, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.